I have 30 ways you can improve your work around the office, and let's look at them. Just watch and see what will happen when I drag my formula down. I'm getting errors here. So what I need to do all the time, if you have a fixed reference cell, always make sure that is fixed in the formula. So in my formula, I'll go back, highlight that cell, and then press F4 to fix everything. Hit on enter. I can now drag my formula all the way down, and everything will be accurate. Here I have my data scattered everywhere, and I want to stack everything within the same column. So this is very easy. Just use Vstack is equals to Vstack. Hit on tab. So I'm going to select the first array, then comma, the other, comma, this array. Always make sure you separate them using a comma, and I'm done. Now instead of a comma, I cross the formula, hit on enter, and I have everything within the same column. Let's create a filter that will do this. It's very easy. This is a slicer. First of all, make sure you convert your data into a table, and then go to insert, click on slicer, you'll have it. And then I want to use status as the basis of my filtering. So I'll just go to status, check on it, then click on OK. And now I have my slicer there. I can resize it just like that. Let's create a file that will help us in grading the students, and I'm going to use if is equals to if tab to autofill if the grade is less than 49.99. This is a fail, and if it's greater than that, it will be a pass. So make sure that this is between the quotes. So that should be a pass. We close the quote, we close the formula, hit on enter, and we have this. I can drag the formula down to activate the color coding. So we have conditional formatting. So you have pass, fail, pass, fail, pass, fail. Today, I want to know how many of my students passed and how many of them failed. I have a short list, but maybe you might have a long list. So using a formula will be an easy way. COUNTIF. So this will be the range, and then the criteria will be pass. How many of them passed? I cross that, hit on tab. I have 13 of them who passed. Now I want to know how many of them failed. So exactly the same, we're going to use the same formula, but this time we are going to change our criteria from pass to fail. Hit on enter, and I have 9 of them who failed. Let's convert our names into lowercase, then we are going to go to uppercase and then the proper case. So we are going to start with the lower, which is equals to rower, like that, tab, and then we highlight the cell with the name, then we close the bracket, enter, then we drag our formula, or just double click on that handle. You have everything in lowercase. The same will go to the uppercase, but this time just use upper. We're going to autofill by hitting on tab to autofill the suggestion. Then we're going to look for whatever that we want to capitalize. Then we close that, hit on enter all the way, dragging the formula down. Proper case, the same, is equals to proper. Hit on tab, and then whichever that you want to pick from that point, just close your formula, you hit on enter, then double click to autofill your formula all the way down. You can actually do this more efficiently without using any formula, and I'm going to show you that in the next video. In this one, I want to change the name case into lower, upper, and proper without using any formula. I'm going to use a shortcut which is very, very efficient. So I'll just type the name in lowercase because that's what I want. Hit on enter, and then CTRL E, it will autofill all the way down. The same case, when I go to uppercase, I'll type everything in uppercase. Enter, then CTRL E, I'll have that replicated. In this one, I'll only capitalize the first one, the first letter of the name, then CTRL E. So in this one, I have this messy looking data, and I'm supposed to split everything and paste them in their respective columns. So it will be very easy. Just highlight the first cell like that, then Control Shift down to highlight everything. Then go to data, make sure you go to text to columns, click on it, and then you're going to have this pop up. What you're going to do, you're going to provide a delimiter that's separating your data, and in my case, I'm using a delimiter. So you click on next, and then you select whatever that you're using to separate your data. So in my case, I'm using a comma. In case maybe you have something that's not represented here, you can just type it here. It will use that, and you can see everything is selected from this preview. Then you can just click on finish, and everything will be split. You can also use a very handy shortcut. You can just check that in my next video. So in this one, we are going to use a shortcut to try to split our data into their clean columns. So I'm going to start off with the name. The first name is Mary Rose. Hit on enter, and then Control E. I'm going to get the names which are here, and then in my next column I'm going to use to get whatever is next there, which is 45. I don't know whether that's an age or something. Control E, I'm going to get the age there. The next is this other number there, I don't know what that is. Control E, I'm going to extract everything from that point. So the next one there is I think their ID number, 1 2 3 4 5 8 0. Enter, then Control E, and you can go all the way up to the end of your data. So in this one, I have my staff, their time in, their time out. I want to calculate how much I'm going to pay them based on the time they've worked. So I want to calculate how many hours they worked, and is equals to text, the value, which is now time out, we minus time in, the format will be hours. Cross our formula, hit on enter, and this person worked for 7 hours. Drag the formula all the way down, and you can see how much I'm going to pay each and every person. So in this one, I want to show you how you can be able to freeze your header so that when you scroll down, it doesn't disappear, but it remains there for you to know what is represented by each column. Just go to, this is the first cell there. You can go to the second one, highlight on it like that, and then you go to view. Then you click on freeze panes. You can click on freeze the panes, and you're good to go. Now you can just scroll all the way down, and the header will just remain. The same will happen if you want to freeze this first column here. You can just click on the second cell there, and then you go back to freeze the panes, and then you want to first of all unfreeze, and then we freeze the panes. You click on that point there, and you can see everything there is frozen from the first column, and also our header is frozen. So you can use that to know exactly what is represented by each row or column. In this one, I want to know what was represented by each date here, whether it was a Tuesday, a Monday, or whatever. So the only thing that you need to do is to use a text formula. Is equals to text. You hit on tab to autofill, and then you highlight the date that you want to know, then a comma, and the text format. So the format that you want to use here, between the quotes, you want to have a full name. That if it will be a Monday, it will be in full name. So you cross that, then you cross the formula, hit on enter, and this will be on a Tuesday. So if I only want to know the short form of that day, I don't want the whole name, just go back to the formula, press on F2, and then instead of 4 Ds, you can just have 3 of them, hit on enter, and you're going to have that. You can just drag the formula down to have the same effect all the way down. Instead of typing in Microsoft Word, you can dictate what you want to type in that Word document, and the only thing that you need to do is to place the cursor to where you want to type in the document, and then you press on Windows H. You're going to have this pop-up, which is going to type everything that you're going to say all the way up to the end. So in this one, I'm going to create an image preview for each and every cell, such that you just only need to hover the mouse over that cell to see whatever the image is previewing the content of that cell. So it's very easy. Just right click on your cell that has whatever you've written in it, and then after that you can just press on Shift F2. This will pop up. Remove whatever that's written there, remove that, and then take your mouse to the margins of that comment pop-up, then right click on it, go to format the painter, format the comment, and then click on colors and lines, and then from here change the color from this drop down, and click on fill effects, and click on picture, select the picture. So we are going to select from a file in this computer, and I don't know where my whatever things are. So we can use whatever image, like I want to use this one, just click on it, then click on insert, and I have the image there. Click on OK, click on OK. Now I have this image. You can use the handles to either make it larger or longer, whatever that you want. So if you hover the mouse there, you're going to have that preview. You can do the same for everything else here. So in this one, I'm going to format my cells so that every time I enter something like 0, it will be a cross. Anything above 1, it will be a tick. 0. So let's see how you can be able to do that. Just highlight wherever you want to have them, and then you go to home and then conditional formatting, click on new rule, and make sure that you change the format style from that to icon sets. And I only have 2 options, so I'm going to get away with this. This will be a no cell icon. So the icon sets, let me go and pick them. I want to have this. Okay, I don't want those. You can select whatever that you want, but let me go to this so that it will look a little bit different from that one. So this one, I don't want anything, so no cell icon. Click on OK. But before you do that, make sure you click on show icons only, and here you change this to a number, and also this one to a number, and the value for the first one, for the green one, that one will be a 1. You can leave the rest to 0, and I can change this icon to something else. I want that to be a cross. I think we're okay now. Click on OK, and just go to our column. If you type on 0, hit on enter, you're going to get an X. So anytime you type 1 or something higher than that, you're going to get a tick. So in this one, I want to create a date picker such that you don't need to type down your date. You just need to click on this drop down, and then you can select the date, and it will be very easy for you. So how to do that? Just make sure you have developer tab, and then place the cursor where you want to create that date picker. And then after clicking on developer tab, go to this option, date picker, click on it, and you can change whatever the name that is inside there. Hit on enter, and you're good to go. So you can go back and then just click on this drop down and select whatever date that you want to input in that cell. So today I want to insert a signature in Microsoft Word document. Here I have a certificate. I want to insert my signature there. Click on insert, go to shapes, then go to this scribble lines, and then just sign there, and you can resize your signature to fit in the area. Then when still selected, you just right click on it, then you go to fill outline, not fill, you go to outline, click on this drop down, and then you go to sketched, and you can select the mode that make your signature smoother so that it looks more natural and handwritten. So I can just select on this one. It looks good to me, and we're good to go. So many people waste their time trying to format their table manually like this. And we have so many templates inside of Excel. You can make use of them. You can just highlight your data like that, then Alt OA, and then you can select from the list that you have here the one that looks good to you. I want this one. I click on it, click on OK, and I have my table formatted this nicely. Today I want to replace the fill color, whatever is formatted within that cell. I want to replace everything inside there. So it's very easy. Just highlight your cell like that, then Control H, you're going to have this pop-up, then click on options so that you get advanced options. And this time I want to just replace the format. Now the first one, can just click on that and then click on choose format from a cell. You click on that, and then I go to that cell, I click on it, we now have that, and I want to replace that with just click on this option here, go also to choose format from cell, click on it, and I want to have something like this. I click on that, and I can just click on I can just highlight all of them and then click on replace all, and I'm going to have the format there replaced. I have a messy looking data here. I want to split the contents into their respective columns. It's very easy. Control Shift down, and then I press on Alt AE. I'm going to have this pop up. The pop-up will help me separate everything based on their delimiter. So make sure this is checked. If you have that, then you go to next. And I have comma separating them. If you have a semicolon, you can use that, or a space, or if you have anything else, you can use others and type whatever is separating them there. And for me, it's now okay. I can see from the preview. I can just click on finish, and I have everything separated into their respective columns. If you want to type one thing within several cells, the best thing is to just highlight them like that, and then type whatever you want to type, and then you press on Control, hit on Enter, and it will replicate all the way down. If you want to type a word and replicate that all the way down, you can use this. First of all, type the name like that, and then you highlight the name plus several other columns where you want that name to be in. Then you press on Control D, it will replicate within those cells. So I want to type a name and then paste that instead of the columns. I want now to paste them across the rows. So I can just highlight the rows like that and then type whatever I want to type, then Control Enter, it will replicate all the way across. I want to type a name and then paste that across so many cells across the rows. So I can just first of all type the name, and then I can select the name that I've typed, that cell, and plus some more others where I want that name to be in. Then Control R, I'm going to have that replicated across the rows. So in this one, I want to know how many times a name was repeated and by how many times. So the first one is equals to unique. Then hit on tab and then select our column there. Then we cross everything, hit on Enter, and you have all the names. So next I'm going to use COUNTIF to know how many times they were repeated. So is equals to COUNTIF. This is COUNTIF there. Hit on tab, and then we are going to look for the range. This is the range, control down all the way down to select that, then a comma, and the criteria will be this one. So we cross the bracket and hit on Enter, and rows was repeated 4 times. I can just drag the formula all the way down, and I have how many times each was repeated. In this one, I have a super shortcut. We are going to split the names. This is Ella, Enter, then Control E. I'm going to separate the first name and paste on in the first name. Let me just get the second name here. Enter, Control E. I'm going to do exactly that. I want to merge them. Assume we don't have the first one here. I want to merge the first and the second name to make one name. I can just do that by typing that. Enter, then Control E. So in this one, I want to interchange the names so that the first name will go to the second name. So we have Rose Ella instead of Ella Rose. So I'll just with the Rose Ella like that. Hit on Enter, then Control E. You're going to have everything interchanged. In this one, I'm going to show you 3 ways you can use to hide data from plain sight. First one, very easy, changing the font color to match the background. Mine is white, so I select the white color, so everything will just kind of fade away. So the second one, I'm going to format cells, click on it, and then I go to custom, and from the custom remove general and put 3 semicolons like that. Then I click on OK. It's going to hide. So the third one, you're going to group the row, so I highlight them like that, then Shift Alt directional key. So this will be the right facing one, and I have this handle here. I can click on minus, and whatever that will be selected, it will be hidden. I can press on plus, and I'm going to have my data back. So in this one today, I have the names. I know their age, I know today's date, but I don't know the date of birth. But I want Excel to do that for me. It will be very easy. Just use this formula, is equals to that long formula. I'll type it somewhere. You can be able to just copy paste and then hit on Enter. I'm going to get the date of birth. I can grab that handle, drag it all the way down, and I have date of birth for each and every person there. So today I have their date of birth. I know today's date, but I don't know their age. I want Excel to do that for me to be very easy. Is equals to text. We are going to use the text formula, and we are going to click on today and make sure this is fixed. So press on F4 because that is not moving down the table, and then we minus today's their date of birth, and then a comma, and we are going to format that in years. So put y between the quotes, and then we cross the formula, hit on enter, and we have that. So that will be that 5 years, 24 all the way up to the end. If you gained value, give us a sub.